Okay, this next topic is just for you. And I'm not sure you're going to be so impressed with this, Mel, because you love grammar. There is a writer for Stylist who's saying when it comes to texting, you got to throw grammar and punctuation out the window. She says that when somebody ends a sentence with, a period, that comes off as cold and frosty and has no place at all in the world of texting. What do you make of this? So I'm going to go first because I'll tell you what Joanne makes of this. Joanne on Facebook says, my husband ends texts with a period when an exclamation question mark or at the very least an emoji is called for, and it drives me nuts. Joanne, for the record, I love you so much because Joanne is saying her husband doesn't give her enough punctuation. She wants more punctuation. When it comes to me in texting, grammar is important for me too. In fact, when you send a text and you'll reread it and realize that you missed a period or a comma or misspelled a word, I'll do that and I'll actually follow up with a text that says, oops, and then write the correct thing. Because that's how
you don't need autocorrect. You correct yourself.
Like I correct myself. Yeah.
I'm not really militant about punctuation. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. And I don't think I judge anybody on their punctuation. Like if they use a period, I don't read into it. But I am particular about word choice. And language is organic. It changes over time. So for example, I hate the word sure, S-U-R-E. I mean, in the beginning, sure meant certain, but the word sure has evolved into like a shrug. Picture the way you say sure, or it can be sarcasm, sure. And so when people respond to me like, do you want to go to the movie this weekend? And it's sure, I'm like, I don't know what you mean. This is a weak response. Yeah. This is weakness. Either say yes or no or okay or whatever. But sure is such a cop-out. So I hate sure. And many of you use sure, by the way. So that's a message to the three of you.
I don't feel like I use sure very much.
Also use emojis.
Do I?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. What Marcy just said is like, if I do use sure, I'm sure I'm following it up with like a happy emoji or an exclamation mark. Like I'm with the first person who wrote in on this subject. You need to tell me because I can't read your tone. Yeah, Joanne, thank you for this because my partner's bad for this as well. He'll just write okay to something and I'm just like, what does it mean? And so I go over the top, I recognize it, but I don't want to be misunderstood. And I usually, instead of writing okay, I usually do KK because it sounds like friendly, KK to me. But apparently today we were talking to one of the producers on our team. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. So now I'm just, whatever, I'm going back to effusive emojis as a result and lots of hearts, I guess. I'm like a 6-year-old.
Kim on Twitter writes to us, I can't stand people who end every sentence with an exclamation point. You know what? I actually agree with you, Kim, even though I'm actually guilty of doing this because I think it's overused. There's some punctuation marks that are underused or people don't know how to use them. For example, I fear the hyphen is disappearing from our written word, just like the apostrophe is terribly misused. But you know what? I actually feel like at least, even though I misuse the exclamation point, it's because I want to express that I'm like always excited and I'm happy. But that's not really why you're supposed to be using the exclamation mark, Kim. So I get you, Kim, but I'm also guilty on the other side. And I'm with you, Marcy. I'm a pedant for spelling and for grammar and punctuation, but I'm going to not blame me. I'm going to actually blame my Filipino mother because Filipinos of her generation, they went to penmanship school and they were judged heavily by the way they wrote. And that was the way that you were literally judged that could, propel you from one strata of civilization to the next. At least that's how she raised me. So I get really anxious when I'm misspelled something. I have to work hard to misspell something like a joke, ha ha. Because I don't want someone to think that I don't know the right way to use an apostrophe or I don't know the right way to write your with whichever one you want to choose, because I don't like to use the you are. But when I do, I'm like, I'm letting somebody down. I'm letting my mom down. I get real anxious really fast.
Wow. You know
I'm going to
what?
leave
When it
that there.
comes to writing to each and every one of you, I'm extra careful when I'm sending a text message to Mel. I'm like checking for grammar. I'm checking for punctuation. And when it comes to Lainey, I try not to use emojis because, like Sin, I'm an emoji person, and I try to lay off the hearts and stuff because I know you don't like it. I try to be respectful.
I don't.
You're so kind, Mars.